we're gonna wait for about a minute and a half. There's some black dude in my house. I'll have to call the cops in a minute. What? Y'all know y'all be thinking the same way too?
No, they don't.
Why is it when he looks like that, it looks like a sideways vagina? I just don't even understand.
The same reason why you look like a damn fat kickstand.
I look like a fat kickstand?
Yeah, that's right, a fat kickstand.
Hey, can I ask you a question? When you go to the elementary school and go get the joke books that you get your jokes out of, do you actually read them before you speak? I just ask it. Y'all, he's having issues. It's hot outside. Y'all got to forgive him.
He's having issues. Look at you.
I'm tired of this dude.
Nope. Nope.
This is my friend. Y'all be my friend. This is my best friend. Love left to me.
It certainly did.
They dropped me hard. Y'all, I do apologize for the degradation of everybody's character. Because I do apologize for y'all having to watch such unruly people.
Unruly, huh? I am not unruly. I am calm, cool, and collected. Okay, that is a lie.
The next time, if he starts singing, let's get it on. What the fuck are you, Barry White?
Why would I say let's get it on?
Pre-grits or post grits? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Actually, no.
There was isn't it Barry White? Barry White where he got burned by the grits.
Oh, yeah.
His ex burned him by the grits. Pre-grits or post-grits?
Wow.
No, it's a real question people have asked. I'm dead serious, dude. I will slap. How dare you?
That was
Y'all.
a cute turtle.
I have to. Okay, let's get going. All right, sort of. We're never actually gonna ever get going. Technically, there are really a lot wrong with us, and so there's that. Anyway, is anybody online? Before I start,
say hello to us.
let's see if any wieners are online. How many wieners are online? Nobody's online. I will. Y'all. Punishment. Oh. I don't know, dude. Okay, well then we can just talk. Alright. We'll just start talking. They'll watch later.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Alright. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Duwan Jackson Gaming, and what we do here is listen and talk. So today is Duwan has come in to visit, and so we can discuss business together, and so that he can do his first N.A.G.214 live. As you guys know, he's been on Facebook Live and so forth and so on. I guess I suppose I could put him on Facebook Live right now. We could do it through the phone, but no. So what I want to discuss today is basically I want to go over some of the things I've been talking about, and I'll let him introduce himself first. I'll make sure.
Duwan Jackson, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously to some folks, but anyway. Also co-owner of A BiPolar Gaming. You don't see me on here a lot because of my work schedule and other things that I need to do. However, when we have time like this, we want to get together and talk to you guys and let us, and let you know what our thoughts are on basically anything. I mean, we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. It. This is really your this is your show, y'all.
Like the way it's been the last few times, been loving it because we've been all talking and chatting and being stupid. They do their very best to fucking throw me off and shit.
Yeah.
Look, dude, this is not a video. This is live. This is supposed to be a conversation. Now, I told y'all I would ask y'all a question today. We're not going to do that till tonight. I'll do this again tonight. It'll just be me like at 8 o'clock. Okay? And I hope y'all have y'all's answers prepared. No, right now, what we're going to do with Duwan is I've been discussing some things lately, and it's different because like he usually looks at this stuff when he's on the break, y'all. Okay? Well, that's not really that fair to him to have to pay attention to a live while he's doing this. And he does do KFE on Wednesdays, I think.
Yeah.
So he does his live video gaming on Wednesdays, and it's not fair. Okay? He needs to concentrate on his stuff, not on Daryl's stuff. But so when he's here, we like to get stuff done. What I've been discussing that I want to go through with you first is the process of the ingredients and the steps and how I've been applying it to my life. I've been trying to show them how certain decision makings I make. And then let's combine that with the subject we did last night about balanced life and level thoughts. Mm-hmm. Okay, because what I was trying to explain to them last night, and I think you'll agree, maybe you won't agree, I don't know, but really, without level thoughts and balanced life, without that crosshair, you can carry your ingredients all day long. You'll never be accomplished at it.
Right.
Sorry. Ambition for what exactly? I have ambition to go get a pizza. Well, great. I'm glad you have ambition. We have a little bit more at stake here. Which, by the way, we will get into a little bit, like, kind of what's going on. And you guys probably will accuse us of being alarmists. We're not actually being. We're telling you the truth. I'm very worried about some things going on, and so is Duwan. And to be honest with you, if whatever Denise gets on here, she'll verify this, and she will also be very worried about this.
Oh yeah, no question.
She's gonna be moving here. But let's go over this real quick.
Let me preface something real quick. Now I know you'll see me in the comments a lot in agreeing with Daryl. Okay.
Thank you.
I want y'all to know that my opinions are mine. Okay? I don't want you to think that, oh, well, he's the token black guy, or he's...
Well, you never know. Well, people think that.
I'm dead serious. Oh, he's the token black guy, or oh, he's the fun-loving guy, and he... No. Duwan has his own mind.
Now, here's the deal, though, with that, though. You didn't.
At one time, no, 100% right.
You didn't at one time.
I used to go along with whatever.
And I wanted her to help you change that. Sophia and Daryl. Oh.
Kind of funny how that works.
In fact, I'll tell you one of the more annoying things that Duwan used to do. He'd agree with both me and Sophia, and we look at him like, oh, I know for a fact you ain't just doing that. But Duwan had a problem with static. Like, he had a problem with that feeling that you get in your gut where it's animosity. And what I've tried to train him and Sophia as well is that, yeah, you're going to have that animosity feeling, you're going to have that sick feeling. You kind of got to get through it. Quite literally go through it.
Yeah.
But, and then give your opinion. It's okay. I'm never going to be a WWE fan. For example,
Nope.
and I'm never going to convince him not to. I think it sucks his brain cells out and makes him blacker. I digress. What? Y'all was thinking the same thing? Anyway,
No, they weren't.
I'm just kidding. No, they weren't. Like, that is the most racist thing you've ever heard. Then you haven't heard anything, because I can get more racist.
I'm trying to tell you. You ain't hear nothing yet.
Okay, anyway, but being serious, like, I don't agree with him. But it's, he doesn't like all the same things I do. That's why we compliment each other, y'all. And I was trying to explain to them that it's not that you are dumb. It's that you have a problem reading stuff in your head.
Let me explain that. Yeah, it's not. Yo, first off, I write poetry.
So you can't be done.
If you write poetry,
and you have managerial qualities that you couldn't be. You can't do. I would not have an owner. No offense.
None taken.
You don't want. You don't want with it.
Yes, I have cognitive issues, but that's because of my disability. Y'all need to realize if I'm slow on the uptake, it's not because I'm dumb.
In other words, if you try to explain something to him and he doesn't understand what you're saying, don't even blame yourself either. By the way, don't blame yourself either. Don't think, well, I should have explained that better. This is why the more descriptive you can be to Duwan. It also explains something that was always so confusing about Duwan with me. Duwan loves the way I talk, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a level with y'all. I always thought Duwan was a little weird when it came to that. I always thought that Duwan was a little strange, because it is effing clear, and if you don't understand it, he's got the better voice, like as far as physical talents. But I couldn't figure out why he would want to listen to me. It's because whenever I explain anything about the Bible or history or anything else on this business, trying to teach him this business, I'm very descriptive. And then we figured out, it's like, oh, and we both figured that out. And Duan's like, oh, that makes sense. It's the reason why he would prefer to. It's probably, if I was going to take a guess, it's probably why you like cartoons and Transformers and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the point is, don't ever think that just because Duwan, yes, I got a friend that agrees with me on a lot of stuff because he's my brother in Christ and he's supposed to. Like that what we talk about in concept is from the Bible, and he's a Christian, so of course he agrees with me. I mean, oh my God, he agreed that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't understand. And apparently in this society, people take the word individuality too far, and they think that, oh well, if you think if you're a team, you're not being an individual. That's not what it is. It's just not what it is. It's in a teamwork situation, we work perfectly. Hey man, please, me and him have the best pick and roll, better than anybody y'all know. However, his lifestyle is different than mine, but we will complement. When Sophia leaves, we're about to test this to the ultimate degree. I'm not worried about it. Why? Because his weaknesses, I am very aggressive. I sometimes think with a little too much emotion. Duwan counters that with one of his other little talents. He is very patient. So he can go, hold up, Daryl. Hold up. Hey, hold up. Get the chains. You know what I mean?
Am I making sense to you? Right. Absolutely, yeah. Where he thinks more emotional and more...
And on my toes sometimes too. Yeah. I just think quicker like that.
I'm the more patient, I'm the more logical thinker. that kind of came out wrong, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
No. What he's trying to say is this: he can maintain a decision over a couple days. Sometimes, what's a nice way of saying it? Sometimes my bipolar makes me think the world is ending when I didn't get the pizza with the pepperoni. I know, okay, that was over the top, but you'll get my point. Like, and he's like, Daryl, we can go to someplace else, but the world's ending because there's no pepperoni in this pizza. Go to sleep. You know,
basically,
like, but here's where the counter is to that. Also on yours, Duwan can take too long in decision making, which means that he can take too long, and when the decision needs to be made now. So I counter that. So it's a perfect team.
Right. Absolutely.
It's a perfect team. And so when we do the ingredients, Duwan does it his way. And if you don't think Duwan has ambition, that was almost funny just to say out of my mouth. Okay?
Yeah, because, I've always wanted to amount to a box my whole life.
So, and Duwan vents to me, vents to his counselor. I'm sure he vents to other people at the place he stays at. He talks to everybody about his issue. I know he vents to Sophia. And as far as taking advice, one thing I know about Duwan, and I didn't get it before, like I said, low self-esteem. Sorry. Duwan always comes to me for advice. If he can't get the advice, if he's a little suspicious about somebody's advice to him, he'll run it by me. He knows I got it, and I'll help him. You know what I mean? And he does that with the Bible, does it with all sorts of subjects. And so Duwan doesn't need to learn history like I know it, because he has me. And by the way, if you think, like, for example, when he first got here, he didn't want to learn history, y'all. Mm-mm. But the way I tell it, he adores it. And now he knows more than he did when he got in here.
And once again, it's because of the cognitive thing. Mm-hmm. Y'all, I'm telling you now, you will never see me in a book. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Oh well.
For an intellectual guy like him, it does. But
it doesn't make any sense because you don't read. No. Now, you see, I said I don't read. That doesn't mean I don't listen to audiobooks.
Thank you. Thank God for modern day technology. You know what I mean? Like, no, it must have been, and I think about that a lot too with you. It must have been hard back in the day with no audiobooks and stuff. It must have been real hard.
Oh, it was horrible.
But now, even your Bible, that you can listen to your Bible, and have a Bible study with somebody, and you don't have to worry about that stuff. One of the things hey, what's up, Denise?
Hey, Denise, how you doing?
And Duwan and I are kind of experience the same things sometimes now. And there's a specific thing that kind of gets underneath my nerves, and it's got to get underneath his nerves a little bit. And that's you guys, that's you, and I'm being non-discriminatory, discriminatory. Y'all forget we got problems here. Y'all act like we're normal people. And they're like, well, why can't Duwan do this? Why can't Duwan? and I don't want it to sound to be mean, but I don't want it to sound mean. But now that he's here, y'all can see that what he can tell you with his own words. He can't plan this stuff out. He can't. I have to do that. That's my part.
That doesn't mean
I also cannot play video games right now, or the videos don't get done. So it's a team. And by the way, when that new channel comes out, he'll be doing a lot of videos because it's going to be about the Bible, and that is his forte. So you don't got to worry your pretty little heads off. Duwan will be doing a lot more stuff. Just on N.A.G.214, he doesn't know the subject matter sometimes. He follows my lead a lot of times. Not because I control him, but because I'm teaching him. And he, be not mistaken, he teaches me too.
And y'all,
you know what I'm saying, Duwan? Like,
no, because I get that all the time.
For you and I, it's funny because we know the truth of it. But for them,
yeah,
like, they don't know. And
it's not your fault.
It's
don't. We're not sitting here saying, "Oh, well, it's your fault." No. We're just pointing this out to you because
to have a better understanding of us.
And that too, but like I always say, we're trying to build a community here.
That's right.
And in order for us to build a community, we got to understand one another. Which means which means our pluses, our minuses,
and we're leaving out
flaws.
Sophia but by the way, Duwan and I, like, Sophia compliments both of me and Duwan on some of the weaknesses that we both lack.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're a great team together, but Sophia has made us stronger because of her personality. She has some things we both neither one have. And so as a team, generally speaking, you're not going to find many flaws here. Hell, even we've had a Denise and Lori. That makes every person we add to this community, we make each other stronger. So while I still want you to work on your weaknesses to make them better, be not mistaken, we got your back.
Of course.
And I hope you have our back when it comes to these things. That in the end, that's what it's about. It's not about one person having all of the stuff. It's just what it is. Sometimes people hear the way you talk. It's the same thing, like literally. Sometimes people hear the way you talk and they go, "What's wrong with him?" And then they see my brains, "What's wrong with him?" And it's like, so you think, so you think what? It sucks because then we have to explain ourselves to people. It does get underneath my skin because, like, you guys act like that. One thing that I get all the time, I don't know about Duwan here, but one of the things I've been having to say recently is that y'all somehow have convinced yourself that somehow I've fixed myself. I will die with bipolar disorder. I know how to deal with my issues, which is the point of the ingredients of the steps.
Right.
That, like, yes, I can go in public and deal with people. I have self-esteem, those sorts of things. Same thing with Duwan. So let me get this straight. So because you see Duwan walking down the street with his cane, his cerebral palsy is fixed. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is kind of what, but it's true though. It is true though. And people forget, which is a compliment to both of us. But be not mistaken. That's why it's very interesting. What we try to do here is that we're trying to show you from our problems and from the mistakes that we've made in our past, but also the things that we go through now.
Right.
How to, that we're not alone. We know we're not alone. Y'all are not alone. I don't care if I've never met you in my life. Don't care.
I'm trying to tell you.
And one of the things that I talked about yesterday that goes along with the ingredients and steps is the idea of a balanced life and level thoughts. And what I was trying to explain last night, is that without those things, without having level thoughts, I would say Duwan has more level thoughts than even me. And he didn't really have to work on it because he's naturally like that. But remember, my disorder is called bipolar disorder, which means by definition, it's unbalanced. It's literally, I was diagnosed with unbalanced.
Yep.
Yes, I don't know how to explain it better than that. And so the fact that you guys are seeing me like this before you, and I'm outright bold-faced telling you that it was the ingredients and steps that did this, I am literally living proof that this works.
Yeah.
Duwan is living proof that this works. I've told this story a couple times about you that that day that you walked that 8 miles, motherfucker falls 3-4 times.
It was good times.
Yeah, it got back up, dude.
I could have easily said, you know what?
And
Done. And by the way, one of those times, if you remember, was right when we walked out.
yeah, and I looked down at him. I said, "Go in." Nobody would shame you.
Nope.
And he sat there for a second, and he was in pain, bleeding. And I'm like, "It's up to you, Duwan. But you're not going to push yourself." One thing I said to him is that you're not going to push yourself without pushing yourself. You it doesn't just happen.
Right.
You can't get better. So he got back up, and we had a lovely time.
That was a great day, actually.
And the spot in the video that you guys always see was literally at the end of that walk. And do you see how fast he's walking? See how calm he looks? He had got used to walking all that miles. That's why, not trying to be mean to anyone, okay? Not trying to be disrespectful. That's why when a person tells me, well, I can't do this, I kind of don't want to hear you. I don't actually want to hear what you have to say. Because I think that's the laziest attitude you'll ever have. And especially since I know that it's possible with a man with half a body. So you're not going to tell me, well, I'm too tired. Well, no shit.
Is that what happens when you walk outside in the beating sun?
You got to push yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up in a second, and I'll let you take over from it. I'm going to go have a smoke real quick.
Okay.
What I would like for you to discuss with them is, continuing on with this, how you use the concept of having a balanced life and level thoughts. Go into detail about your life. Let them really know. I always talk about myself, so they're used to hearing me. Go into your life and talk about how you became Duwan, how you became the co-owner of Noir J Gaming, and these people don't know that. I mean, I can tell them all day. I brag on you all the time. Great. Again, it sounds like my friend. It sounds like a friend bragging on another friend.
Right.
But it ain't about my opinion. It's about how you think about yourself too. And some people, not naming names, don't believe in themselves. Got it?
Gotcha.
This one.
All right, boys and girls. It's class time. Let this gentleman.
You want to sit there?
No, I'm good.
All right. I'll be back, y'all.
All right, boys and girls. It's class time. So, this is how this goes, okay? You want to talk about a boy who did not believe in himself. Woo! Oh, man. I looked at myself like I was the scum of the earth. I mean, honestly, that's how I felt. I wasn't a bad person. I never really did anything wrong. Really. No. But I always thought that I was less than anybody else. And up until recently, I still feel the same way. But, and I mean before we started this, but I always looked at myself like a man with a boy with a disability. I didn't even consider myself a man. I thought that I was undeserving of everything. I didn't I didn't want to commit suicide or anything like that, but I was in deep depression. I didn't want. I wanted to do things on my own, but I never knew how to start. As far as a balanced life goes, you look at me walking, you can see how balanced I am, or was, or something like that. But after we were homeless, those times that we were, I was still feeling low and undeserving of anything. And Daryl kept telling me, "Well, Duwan, you're a lot better than that. You got to give yourself more credit." I thought, why? Personally, my father wasn't there when I grew up. He wasn't there when I was born. My mom was always at work. I was always by myself, so I figured I had to do everything by myself. And that's not what we teach here. Funny thing is, we started this over a text message. Oh boy. All of this started from a text message. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, Duwan, really? A text message? Yes, really. I had asked Daryl a question, a deep one, while he was on the top of Pikes Peak. I still have smiles about that. But he answered, and then we still joke about it to this day. This all started because of that text that, although we don't believe in miracles, miraculously came through. He didn't have any sort of reception up there. None. But yet my text came through, and literal over a decade later. Oh my god. Oof. Anyway, over a decade later, we started this, and I've always wanted to help people, but I can't help anybody else if I couldn't help myself. And that's when I moved down here to Texas. And he's told stories, and we have a video of me getting out of that car for the first time. And boy, I
ought to put that video up, to be honest with you. I really ought to, because to show what the difference is. I mean, it's a stark difference. Go ahead.
I was just telling him that when I was born, that I didn't really have anybody, and I was alone. But I learned basically, when I came here, I learned that I was never alone, and I was worth it, and I didn't. Cause y'all, do you think that I was as boisterous as I am now?
No.
What?
Do you remember that day when Sophia was particularly picking on you? And you're just like, I don't want to fight back. And she goes, That's okay. I'll just keep doing it then.
Yep.
Duwan was being a gentleman, and he didn't want to attack Sophia. He didn't want to come back at her. And he was being a gentleman, and she's like, that's okay. You make it easy for me then. And Sophia was relentless.
Oh my goodness.
and just like some other people I know, he was very, very, very sensitive. But the thing is, he was only sensitive when he felt like he was being attacked. And I picked up on that. So me and Sophia had a conversation about it, and we're like, gotcha. When a person gets that sensitive, it means that they're not dealing with their issues properly, okay? And they're not dealing with, they haven't dealt with they haven't vented properly, probably all their life. That kind of thing.
I certainly didn't.
And so there's a lot of stuff inside of Duwan that he had never dealt with. And we helped him get that stuff out. And once he saw that, yes, actually, indeed, Duwan, you do have anger inside you. Yes, Duwan, indeed, you do have depression. Some people don't even know they do. And they're walking around on this earth right now, and their life is a mess and all this stuff. And anybody who ever says anything to mention about it, they're being attacked. They're in the attack mode and stuff like that. That's not true. Mm-mm. People that love you aren't trying to hurt you. They're trying to help you. Okay? That's the thing. And that's what we all try to do here. We try to use whatever we can, whatever tactics we need to get inside your head, so that we can kind of root around in there and find a problem. Okay? It's like cancer. I consider some of the more nefarious thoughts that you can have when you're depressed and those sorts of things, I liken it to cancer. Even though it's not a disorder that can kill you in the same way, if you're not mistaken, your depression can kill you. It can cause heart attacks, so forth and so on. It really can.
Yeah.
And so, for you to really resolve those issues, it's not just about talking about your issues. You have to get the emotions off. The whole process of venting is to get your emotions off. Does that make sense? And so that's the concept here. I wanna transition to something right now. I want to talk about some things that are going on in this world. All right. Some things that are very relevant to what we're doing here, to you guys. And as you guys know, we did not plan for this to be a political site, a religious site. However, sometimes politics, you have no choice. Sometimes there are things going on in your world that if you do not talk about it, that you get yourself in trouble, that you're not going to be I would never leave somebody without knowledge and forewarning of something that they need to be prepared for. But as you know, in the United States, the presidential elections are going on. And just like in Venezuela, they outright bold-faced lied about who the president was, and they absolutely knew that dude lost. They put him in anyway. Sound familiar? That Biden couldn't perform his duties as the president, yet without the explanation that he decided to drop out because of his cognitive abilities, which was the right decision, or not drop out of the presidency, but out of the race. If he cannot run for president of the United States, he needs to stop. And a lot of people would tell me, "But Daryl, if he stops, that means Kamala's going to be president." I know. I'm so scared about that.
Yeah.
I'm scared. No, really, truly. I don't know. Can you see the shivers? No? I would prefer that, thank you. Let her run for, let her be president. That'll be funny. I haven't had a good laugh in a while. But all jokes aside, there are things going on in my country that are going to fundamentally change the way this country looks if that woman wins.
Yeah.
Okay? And as you guys know, I spend a lot of time doing thinking about what my next steps are. All right? And that's why I have to be able to plan out for this business. I have to plan out, okay, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? How do I want to use AI? I've got this, I'm working on, well, as soon as I'm done with these videos, I'll really get into recreating that website, making it better, okay? So I do all these things, putting out videos and, okay, so Duwan's going to come over, so what are we talking about? Those sorts of things. But I also have to think morbidly. I have to think, what would happen if these elections lead to civil war of some sort, okay? And without getting into a whole bunch of details, I can tell you the first thing would happen, at least for a little bit. This right here, all this is done. I can get on here and talk about what's going on here, but there are some states right now that we would literally be at war with.
Yep.
Okay? And people like me don't always have a logical frame of mind. They get scared into doing bad things. And for that reason, I have to prepare that there is gonna be a group of people, many people, that do not know how to deal with this. They don't know how to deal with how to think. They're gonna panic. They're gonna be driven to a certain direction. I can tell you now, you can find out the true measure of a man when they're at the hardest times of their lives. That mankind can become animals. We really can.
Oh yeah.
We have the ability to become real monsters. And so I have to prepare myself in case that's the case. That if things happen a certain way, that I have to be prepared that there's going to be a lot of people that's going to need hope, that I can, at the very least, give people that knowledge and that hope through my channels and stuff. But I have a feeling that this business is going to be put on hold for a while if that happens. We'll see. But there's so many things that are going on in this world today that's messed up. And you guys have got to keep yourself educated. I don't know is there anything you want to discuss for stuff just off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but I do want to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying there. Yeah, being educated is the most important thing. However, you also need to be balanced in your education too.
Yes.
You know, you could be, for example, you could be book smart all you want to be. I'm glad you're smart. But
You need to be smart in life.
You don't know what's going on outside.
Yeah. That's it. You want to see something cool?
What'd you say?
See what? How am I doing this? Oops.
But yeah, no, y'all. But being educated, both, I guess scholastically speaking, and being street smart is the most important things, because you need to have that balance here. All right, because you need to have that. You need to have that balance, because you need to be aware of your enemy, basically.
Right.
And
I'm telling you, you're gonna need spirituality too.
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you know what you can discuss right now? That this overview of the idea of making sure that you're spiritually strong. You know about this stuff.
Ow. Yeah. Ow. Yeah. So like Daryl just said, you need to be spiritually strong as well. And I'm not going to, like we said, this is not a, excuse me, a religious site by any stretch of the imagination. However, we're Christians. Sorry, not sorry. And for those who are as well, you need to be on your knees and in your word, because this is spoken about, and you need to prepare yourself and other people for the worst, to be quite honest with you. You don't want to be lost in, you don't want to be swept away in the flood without being prepared. And that's why, once again, going back to being balanced, that's why that's one of the most important things, that and knowing your steps, because it's all a full circle. And these are trying times for us as Christians. That's awesome, Denise. Gold medal in artistic gymnastics. Appreciate that, but we got to get back to God. It's as simple as that. I don't think I can say it much plainer than that. Once again, sorry, not sorry, and I'm not trying to make this a religious conversation, but I am trying to say that you need to be aware of the enemy, who your enemy is, and what you can do to shield yourself against them. Okay? That's why we do what we do, to give you guys hope and to let you know that there are real threats out there. And we need to come together as a society, as a community, as a village, quite frankly. We need to be there for one another in these times, and we just need, I mean, I don't know what else to say, because
No, that's okay. We'll wrap this up. Well, I'm having issues. Speaking of cognitive issues, I'm gonna let you guys go. What'd you say? Did y'all see that disrespectful opening of Olympics with the Christ and all that stuff? That's the battle we fight. I'm gonna say this before we get off. The battle we fight is not externally, even though I fear that it will become external. The battle we fight is internal. And it starts with a single person, be an example to another person, be an example to another person, so forth and so on. That's what we believe in. That's what we live by.
Yep.
There's nothing worse than a person who does not believe in themselves. Okay? How do you change that? Well, they have to want to. They have to vent out their problems to you. You have to give them advice. They have to take that advice. They have to go outside and somewhere and have no distractions and contemplate on that advice. And they have to know that you're going to be there and that they're not alone. You have to teach them how to clean their house, how to go into the past, how to dig into this other stuff so that they can know how to better deal with the situation the next time it comes around. And you don't want the house to get dirty again. So guess what? You got to fill the house. All right, you got to fill the house with good things, things that they might be already good at, or things that they maybe even have forgotten. Show them that yes, you actually are good at them, and then once you show them something, once they realize that they were actually good at something, become an expert. Get good at something that you know that you're already good at. So if you're good at talking to people, talk to people. If you're good at listening, listen. If you're good at electronics, do electronics. It's that simple.
Yep.
What ends up happening to the human brain when you start doing that, and you start to feel good about yourself, is your brain will automatically go, I'm kind of bored, to be honest. Let's go see if I could do that. Maybe you've never done it before. Maybe it's something you secretly always wanted. So you take those skills you've been learning and you apply it to the new thing. And then you learn new skills. And you take that and do it to the next one and the next one, next one. It's ever expanding, guys. And the last one. At this point, you should be feeling damn good about yourself. And now you can stop. You can look around and assess the situation. And you can ask what's next. You're going to see the journey that you came on. And there will be no question that you can do the next one. Mm-hmm. Do you know that you can? Have you ever done it before? No, but you just went through this hell to get where you are. I give the analogy that I always give about crossing over and you come out of the fog. That's going to be the best sleep you ever had. Best sleep you ever had. The first time you are content where you are.
Yeah.
That even if you fail at the next thing, you are content where you are. That no one around you is going to tell you how to feel and how to be and how to think, because you won't allow them to do it. Because you're no longer underneath someone's thumb. You no longer allow someone to speak for you. How many times you ever know somebody who you know for a fact will speak for that person, for another person? It's happening right now. Right in front of your eyes, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to turn Kamala into Lady Di. And this same media people called her a moron. Don't buy the bullshit. Facts. One of the reasons why I'm so open about my life is because you can't attack me. But Daryl, you did. Go watch that video. But Daryl, you went to jail for. Thanks. It's like quoting Lord of the Rings. Thanks. I know I said it. Of course I did that. But here's what you need to really prove. Am I still doing it? It's not about your past, man.
It's not?
No, you're right. It's about your now.
And who you're going to make yourself to be.
I said in the Pastel Sunshine video, I do believe. No, Power of One. One of the videos that I have up, if you go to the KFE little chapter thing, and I say, who you were is not who you are, and who you are is not who you're going to be. The one stable thought in your whole life is this. It's something I had to tell myself a long time ago. A person like myself, I had another phobia, something I haven't even discussed with y'all. I want to get into a section of videos about phobias, about certain phobias that I've had that I know that are commonplace with people with PTSD. But this one's a big one. Fear of change. Think about my life. Think about my life. My biological parents, the people that should have loved me the most, abandoned me or hurt me. Then I'm adopted for almost a year, and then we all of a sudden have to change and move all the way to Wisconsin. And then I had school, and I was never accepted there. And so I eventually started to give up. And then my whole life changed. Got diagnosed with bipolar in 1996. And I wasn't told to adult. I was forced to adult. It was, here you go, there's a deep end. Hope you don't drown. No, Daryl, you don't get any life rafts. And for a long time, anytime that it was so bad that anytime that change, true dramatic change happened to me, I would instantaneously think it was negative.
Yep.
And that is the very definition of fear of change. Well, let me tell you something. The one thing that doesn't change is that life changes.
Oh.
That your entire life is change. That your entire life is based upon the many changes that you do, whether you like it or not. Especially the older you get, the more you've seen, and the more you know better. It takes longer for other people than it does for some, but for the most part, when you're younger, you're immature and you make unwise decisions. It's not a disrespect, it's a fact. Top 5 emperors of Rome were all under the age of 21. They were the top bad emperors. All of the worst emperors of Rome, all 5 of them, top 5, were all under the age of 21. That was their commonality. Why? Well, don't you all see it every time you listen to Hollywood stories? Kid gets a lot of money from maybe a movie they starred in, or maybe a song they wrote, and then they become Justin Bieber. And Justin Bieber has bipolar disorder, just so you know. And so does his wife, who ironically started her career on YouTube. Halsey started her career on YouTube. That's what's possible. Yeah. And you can get yourself married to Justin Bieber. Okay, Justin Bieber's not my type. But the story stands. How many child stories that a year, where the child is ruined because of all that money?
Oh yeah.
NFL stars, same thing happens. Baseball, sports stars, where the person goes acts like a jackass. Kyrie Irving's a great example of that. Kyrie Irving was a bit of a jackass. Kyrie Irving is damn near a mentor. He's definitely a mentor to Luka.
So hold up. You mean to tell me that Kyrie had a bad start or whatever, and then he changed, and then he became a mentor to somebody? So that means he got taught whatever he got taught, and then he moved that on to somebody else?
Yeah.
Does that sound like something that...
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're referring to. Like, kind of crazy talker that. I keep my shit to myself. But that Duwan's point's well taken, and it's just me. It's Sophia too. Sophia tries to. We had a wonderful, funny. I haven't had a conversation about like this with Amanda in a long time. God, Amanda's so stupid. She's so stupid, y'all. She would make Satan blush. She's got a mouth on her, dude. It's so quick. If you're a good little Christian girl, Amanda will sift that out, find out that you're a good little Christian girl, and she will most certainly. She enjoys making people turn red. Like Denise, you have no chance. No chance. And we are looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you. We are all looking forward to Amanda just making you turn red. But it's all in good fun. But going back to what I was saying, I wanted to leave you guys with this message because sometimes I feel like, and you guys imply, that you don't understand what we're doing here. I hope after that explanation that you understand what we're doing here.
Right.
Because I can't really get much more clear than that. We love you, Denise. But it's a gerbil thing. It's just awful. That's what's awful. We love you, you tiny little thing. But check this out. So I want to leave you guys on this message because I believe that we're about to face some times that you didn't even think was possible here.
Yeah.
And I believe that some of you are not going to be able to handle it very well. So what we want to really do is make sure that you guys understand that we are always going to be here for you. Okay? That our videos will always be up. That you could always, that those videos will live for eternity. I won't. Duwan won't. But my videos will. And I'm banking on it. So the message will never go away. So if your great-grandchildren come across my videos, they'll be able to get the same message without having ever met me.
Right.
Same with Duwan. is not easy, our life. This life we live. Oh, none of us. For none of us. Hey, what's up, Anna? Yeah, I know. I know, Denise. When you travel down your journey, down your road, as it were, there's going to be so many things that you're going to come across that you're going to tell yourself, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. You're going to want to turn around. But then you'll get over it. And it will happen every time.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, when you get to the end of the road to where you're going to need to go, you're going to look backwards and see how far you walked. See how far and what you had to do to get to where you are. You might have had to take a detour that didn't even include pavement. Okay? What does that mean? Al Gore? What does that mean? I don't know. Inconvenient truth? Something? I don't know, whatever. I don't know what she's saying.
We just work here.
Anna is did they let you at your cage today? I was asking. Anyway, you need to go back in there. You and Denise need to keep doing that. Anyway, let us adults talk, please. Anyway, so what we want you to. Okay, Anna, don't be word police. Don't be word police. Don't do that. That wasn't me. That was Duwan who wrote that, and yes, he probably made a mistake. Don't be word police, Anna. Okay?
So
thanks.
So hold on. You mean to tell me I make mistakes too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You want to erase the comment? Focus. Stop being word police. Anyway, there's a difficult time coming for everybody. Everybody. And if you aren't carrying your ingredients and you're not trying to be ambitious, okay, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was a mistake. Focus. My 2 ADHD, one undiagnosed and one that is diagnosed. Focus. That comment was written at the beginning of the video before we even pushed start. Words out of my mouth. Those are not mistakes. Here you go. There's a message for the day. There you go. That's what gore means. God, I hate that shit, man. Back off. Anyway. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yep.
It's like God. We don't live in Nazi Germany, all right? Go read Lord of the Rings if you want to hear that. Anyway, it wasn't just you. Denise agreed with you, and it's like it starts this whole thing. I want to get off here. I'm not feeling exactly the greatest, okay? So if you see me a little irritated right now, it's because you're preventing me from getting off. I need to go lay down for a minute, or I think I'm going to pass out. But I didn't want to say that out loud. So I got to explain something that Duwan made a mistake on. This is why men beat women right there. Anyway. God. Anyway. Everybody in the United States is going to face a hard time soon.
Yeah.
Even if we get what we want. Even if we get what we want. Okay? That who is after Trump? Alright. Yeah, you're lost in space because you're Martian. Okay, go away. Then if you're lost in space, go watch, I don't know.
Lost in space.
Go watching cartoons, something. Anyway, so even if we get what we want, what about 4 years from now? What about the 4 years after that? Be vigilant. Get knowledgeable on things. Not just about yourself and solving your own issues. Yes, do that. But part of what I've always done myself, and part of what even though Duwan can't necessarily read in a book stuff, I try to learn something and then I will explain to Duwan. I try to learn something, I try to explain to you guys. Okay? So that you guys can glean information off that and learn something and be aware. Just to put that in there and to be aware. It's like imagine if you're trying to learn how to cook. You like cooking? You appreciate this?
Oh, yes.
You're trying to learn how to cook. So you've never really cooked before. Are you ready to go baste a turkey? No. However, if I tell you how to baste a turkey, are you just going to throw that information away? Because if you're that kind of person, that explains a lot, actually. Okay. You always want information just in case. Now, yes, you want information relevant to the situation, sure. Like, I don't think the Roman Empire is relevant to your own personal life, but you know what it is relevant to the... Come here. This country. There's so many similarities of the transition period between the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
It would actually make you vomit. And you'd be like, oh my God, I never thought about it like that. I know.
From what you taught me
it's just so many
to now. Yeah, absolutely.
It's disgusting.
Absolutely.
And by the way, our founding fathers very much were Roman fans. Part of our government thought process came from them. In fact, Cincinnati, Ohio came from the name Cincinnatus. Cincinnatus was considered the Roman George Washington.
Whoa.
Yes. Cincinnatus was the only Roman, there was an office in the Roman Empire called dictator. There was an actual office in case of emergency, they would name you dictator. Cincinnatus, there was an emergency, they named him dictator, and he laid down power willingly.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, to this day, I think there's an honorary legion named after the legions of Rome that dealt with him.
Oh,
And
wow.
So you can think of it like this: that George Washington was the American Cincinnatus, or Cincinnatus was the American George Washington. Either way, okay. They knew their Roman history.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's right. I guess they were a bit more than farmers and knew more than just about manure. By the way, how many of you know Latin? I'll wait. No, by the way, go ahead and type them in Latin if you do. Anyway? No? Okay. Parents were teaching their children Latin at the age of 3 and 4. They don't even teach that in school anymore. They used to teach it in school. Do you know Latin? I don't.
Nope.
I'll be straight up honest with you. They knew their history. And while history is history, okay, history, if you see, like, I love, well, you've heard the old quote, he who does not learn from his history is doomed to repeat it.
Yep.
I actually like Samuel Clemens' version of it. Samuel Clemens or Mark Twain. He said, no, history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. I actually like that. I like that one better. I always like that one better because it's true. It's not exactly the same. Okay? Did you just quote God? Yes, Anna, I do actually know Latin. I was lying. But every time I say I know something, people think I get arrogant. Just saying. Hey, I got something in Latin for you. How about by a fart that it'll throw you. Go look that up. That is not a Christian thing I just said.
That's why my head is down.
What? I was just giving her some instructions. It's helpful.
To who?
To herself. She'll thank me later.
I kind of figured.
Y'all get secrets, motherfucker. Yes, that's right. That's Samuel Clemens. Yeah, that's right. That's Samuel Clemens. That's Mark Twain. That's what Mark Twain said about it. So, back to what I was saying. Learning about history it doesn't have to be boring. Duwan wasn't Duwan still ain't no history buff. But let me tell you something. He never gets bored with mine. Why? Because I don't teach history like
George Washington.
In the 1700s. Okay. I don't teach history like that.
No.
Okay? It's about the people and about the lessons you need to be learned. Rudeness. Hey, first of all, I'm sick and tired of that name, Anna. You better stop calling me that. Stop calling me that. I'm gonna give you a name, motherfucker. Stop calling me Nerd Bucket, dude. God, she came up with this fake ass name and now she just uses it on live and shit. Man, I'm a good man. I don't even deserve that kind of bullshit, man. Anyway, I give a good fucking lesson here, trying to teach y'all about stuff, and we can call it Nerd Bucket and shit, man. Okay. Actually, hey, by the way, that little face you put out there, is that a selfie?
Oh!
Hannah's laughing. So check this out. That's selfie.
I'm trying.
God pooped her out, motherfucker. Oh, all right. So anyway, so check this out.
FF y'all,
dude. So the best likening to what's going on now, turd bucket. That's just a really bad play on words, and that's so childish. Anyway, shame on you. Go eat a bucket of ice cream, okay? So, what? It's just advice. I'll be choking that motherfucker.
Daryl.
What?
We have people who want to learn stuff.
I did. I taught her something. Don't fuck with me. That's what I taught you. Anyway, no, but the Roman Empire is the best example of how the Roman Republic existed from, I don't know, let's say about 700 and something BC to about, well, Octavian was the first emperor of Rome. And at first it was okay. I'm about to cut this motherfucker off right now. They're gonna get me in trouble. I'm about to say something. I'm about to say your name out your mouth, outside your mouth, outside yourself. Okay, so check this out. So the Roman Republic ruled, and then Octavian became Augustus Caesar, first emperor of Rome, right around the time of the birth of Christ. All right, 23 BC is the technical, classical Roman Empire beginning, and it ended in 475 by the classical date when Rome was invaded and taken by Odoacer. But how did the Roman Republic become the Roman Empire? Well, I have done research after research after research on that question exactly. And it started not long after the war with Hannibal. Okay? So after they finally beat Hannibal, Rome expanded very quickly. Very quickly. They had gotten Carthage in Africa. They renamed it Africa after Scipio Africanus. That's why I always love it when black some black people will call me racist because I'm a white guy because they want to be called African Americans. In reality, that name African is actually named after a fucking white guy, dude. That's how much you know about your history. Have a nice day. Skip your Africanus with a freaking Roman. I mean, this is what I mean. Knowledge is power. It's just, just like I did. Don't make sense. No, but don't make no sense. So check this out. So they got Africa, and then quickly expanded. Okay, and there is still this war between the aristocrats and the plebs. Okay. Mm-hmm. And really, it was pretty much the entirety of the Roman Republic that there was the aristocrats really treated the plebs really bad. That's the common people. Okay. And in fact, many historians think that the story. You should start a quiet room and go in there.
And lock the door.
And lock the door and talk to yourself all day, Anna. Maybe you can sing. Throw your poop around. Anyway, so check this out.
God. Oh.
Oh, God. This is what I have to put up with. I mean, this is the kind of stuff. Anyway, so check this out. Okay, so anyway, so there was this war, and eventually plebs started demanding more power. All right, and that's what. And then they created the Tribune of the Plebs. Mark Antony ended up getting that position at one point when Julius Caesar named him. That they were that is who. Denise. Yes, excited, as in she's taking too much Adderall. Here's the thing. It's so. You could have saved a pill for me. I would love some to wake the fuck up. Whatever, dude. Anyway, so this war of between these two groups of people, the rich, basically the aristocrats, and the plebs, okay, lasted for a long, long time. But they started getting more rights and more rights. But even then, the aristocrats would not allow them to hold an office, not a real office. So plebs were not allowed to be a consul, praetor, the high stuff, okay? And so, over time, this tension built. And eventually the plebs began to really rebel against this concept that they weren't even allowed to marry an aristocrat. So then they allowed them to get married, okay, so that they could have maybe a position in the Senate and things. So those changes happened, but it happened slowly and violently. In fact, right around the time of Marius would change Rome forever. That would be Julius Caesar's uncle. And the Marius reforms were the reforms that would become what you would know as the professional Roman armies. Okay? But in the Senate, at the same time, violence began to happen in the Senate, where there was people being attacked and bloodied up. I mean, like, if someone didn't agree with your position, yes, Denise, can you please not speak Portuguese? I know you said something about the people, but what the?
I was about to ask.
Man, I'm about to ask for some sour cream. So anyway, so there was this tension between the people and the aristocrats. Okay? And it rose to violence. violence in the Senate. So when they were starting to make laws, okay, and it didn't help that Marius and who was the man? Oh, Marius and Sulla began their little civil war, and anyone, and it was so chaotic during this time that let's say I don't like Denise, and Denise has got a nice house. Well, all I have to do is tell someone that's on Marius' side, say, I think Denise sides with Sulla, and they'll fucking arrest her and kill her. Whoa. And now I get, so people were stealing people's homes like that. There's all sorts of messed up trifle and stuff that was going on.
Talk about a squatter.
And then, of course, so Marius created the Marius Reforms. And Sulla, who was Julius Caesar had to flee Rome because of Sulla. Okay? And because they weren't, even though Sulla did cross the Rubicon, he did. He crossed the Rubicon with an army illegally and occupied Rome and became dictator for life before Julius Caesar ever did. But the reason why Julius Caesar was known for his crossing of the Rubicon a little bit later is because actually Sulla did it because he didn't want it ever to happen again. He couldn't stand the plebs. He hated the plebs. He couldn't stand anything about the plebs. The people, he hated them. He made it impossible for a person, he quote unquote made it impossible for a person to do what he just did. So he crossed the Rubicon so other people wouldn't cross the Rubicon. Here's the problem with that. When you say something and then you do the opposite, usually people see what you do more than what you say. And so basically people like Julius Caesar and other people, Pompey, basically asked the question, if you did it, why not me? It started, so by Sulla doing that very act, he condemned Rome, and that it was the beginning of the end for the Roman Republic. There was so much corruption in the Senate, in the House. Julius Caesar, he did not care about hiding his reprobate friends that he had. He paid all of the fines and all of the stuff. Yes, I think I figured it out. What you said, it's Latin, means ignorant people. Yes, Denise. I think I figured that out after I made a snarky comment about it. Yeah, that makes sense. But check this out. So this happened, and so they had 100. They basically had 100. Yes, Denise. They had 100 years of civil war. Okay, Julius Caesar, as he's rising to power, and then of course you have the uprising of Spartacus, and you have the formation of the triumvirate, which was Crassus, Julius Caesar, and Pompey. And the way they ruled Rome was Pompey was kind of the general, Julius Caesar was like the religious guy, and Crassus was the money. And it worked for a little while. Of course, Crassus, he couldn't buy what he really wanted. They say that Crassus, if he was alive today, would be the richest man in the world.
Damn.
Okay. So, but he was a cruel man. A cruel man. That even though it was actually in Roman law, the idea of decimation was an awful way to treat your soldiers. Okay? Then go look at one, Anna, and stop listening to me then. So anyway, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, did you go look at a picture?
Just wow.
Anna, you're doing this in front of everybody. Just so you know that. I'm giving a great picture of the situation, and in your mind so fast you can't even think, you can't hear what I'm saying to you. Bad. Not good. Anyway, so Crassus was rich, but he could not buy a victory. The one thing about Roman general is they wanted a triumph. Well, he thought he had finally earned his right to have a triumph, and technically he's right. He just wasn't real smart. He's actually the one who beat Spartacus. Crassus is actually the one who gained victory over Spartacus. But to be honest with you, nobody liked him. You were using Crassus for his money. He was an asshole. He believed in decimation. Okay? If y'all don't know what decimation means, now we use it to this day, but that was a literal thing that they did. If you lost a battle, if someone disobeyed orders, every 10th man was to be executed. It's called decimation, as in Dessa.
Dessa, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it was cruel. It was a cruel way to treat people. He never had the loyalty of his troops. Well, anyway, he beat Spartacus, and Pompey and Julius Caesar outsmarted him and basically take credit for it. Okay? And he has to go with his tail between his legs back home. You know, they kiss his ass on the way home. Oh, we didn't mean to. We didn't know the people would do that. Yeah, they did. Yes, they politically outsmarted him because he was a jackass. Okay, and then he got a second and unfortunately last opportunity when they gave him a mission to go take care of the Parthians. The Parthians were a particularly badass group of freaking people that lived in modern day Iraq. Okay. In fact, the modern, I say modern because we don't do them anymore, but I'm saying like the medieval horses, like with the full armor, that's where they come from. They date back that far. They're called a cataphract. And they are fully armored. They had fully armored horses, fully armored elephants, fully armored camels. Fully armored all this stuff. And Crassus, decimation. So Crassus was lured into a trap along with his son. And the Cappadocians, Cappadocia is in basically middle of Turkey. Okay? The Cappadocians had decided they were going to basically betray Rome. But they had to kiss their ass first. So they helped lure the Romans into a trap. So Crassus and his son and his Roman legions, they thought the Cappadocians had decided to back off their siding with the other guy. No. So they gave them these spies. So Cappadocia gave them these trackers basically to help them get to the desert. No. They were betrayers that were going to lure them into a trap. And so slowly but surely in the middle of the Iraqi desert, the Roman legions fell one by one of either heat exhaustion or arrows coming from a long ways away that they didn't even have the energy to fight.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Crassus was killed. Crassus' son was killed. Crassus himself, as an example, basically to tell the Romans, don't mess with us, please, because we will freaking do this every time. Crassus got gold poured down his throat.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so that was the end of the triumvirate. All right. Now keep in mind, in the shadows, a young boy by the name of Gaius Octavian. Okay, his father was a soldier, but I think his father had passed. he was watching this whole thing. And Octavian was a genius. Really. But he went to school, as all young Roman boys went to. And he went to Mediolanum. That is modern day Milan. Okay? That's where the Romans got educated. And he met two other young men. Two other students there.
Hold on a second. Where's Milan? That's in Italy, right?
Yeah, northern Italy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So he goes and he meets two young men, around the same young boys around the same age. One by the name of Marcus Agrippa. One by the name of Maecenas. And they hit it off immediately. Okay? And now keep in mind, Octavian didn't know about the will, but he had met some epically historical characters that would help him rule the world. Smart individuals. Each had their own part. Agrippa was the general. Maecenas was his writer to make sure Octavian didn't say anything too stupid, and Octavian was a political genius, and those two together were unstoppable. Okay, but before we get to that, and Anna, this is the point. That's why not everything's a yes or no answer. I'm literally explaining to you right now, if you're listening, what the commonality is. Right now, as I'm speaking, you just have to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Octavian was in the background watching this stuff. So he's watching, he's learning, and he's watching Julius Caesar make some dumbass mistakes. Not having guard around him. Being friends with all your enemies that you just had a civil war with. How about the dumbest one of them all? This dude, Julius Caesar, for as smart as he was, as a general, he was a dumb politician. He decided he was going to don the purple. Well, if you don't know anything about Roman history, well, let me explain it to you. The reason why it's called the Roman Republic during this time is because the first Marcus Junius Brutus, the original one, was the man who kicked out the last king of Rome. The word rex, there's your Latin term for the day. The word rex, implied to a human being, I can assure you meant you were going to die that day. Go ahead and apply rex to your name. The Romans know it's king.
Okay.
Okay. Rex means king. The idea that a man would ever claim to be king was suicide. So even though Julius Caesar didn't claim to be king, everybody knows what a purple fucking outfit means. It's royalty. And, wait for it. They couldn't prove it, but they know Julius Caesar was behind this. Some of the people in the crowd when he was coming back yelled out, basically, "We want you to be our king." He paid him to say that. He paid him to say that so that it would sound like the people wanted. Well, anyway, wow. He was about to go. Like, remember how Crassus went over the Parthians and he got his butt kicked? He was about to go continue his journey of conquering, and he was going to go face the Parthians. And by the way, almost everybody agrees that if you know anything about it, Julius Caesar would have beat the Parthians like they stole something. And they knew that if they did not kill him before when he left, that the people would crown him king, and the Senate feared the people. The aristocrats feared them, knowing that Julius Caesar had absolute loyalty from his soldiers, and the plebs loved him. And the ironic thing is that Julius Caesar was an aristocrat.
Wow.
which made him very powerful. So not only was he an aristocrat, okay, related to, what was his nickname? The darling of Venus. Julius Caesar can claim his lineage all the way back to Troy. That he was a part of the establishment of Rome. And trust me, he rubbed it in their faces, their sentence. And with the addition of the Marius reforms, which I didn't really get into, but basically what he did to the Roman legions wasn't just that he made them badass. Marius was the first Roman general to ever make his soldiers swear loyalty to him and not Rome. You say, well, why is that important? That's exactly what's going on. Exactly what's going on right now. And Octavian in the background's watching all this stuff. He's watching his uncle just be arrogant as a prick. And then he gets stabbed, 32 times? And the reason why it's so spiritually and historically, the reason why they asked Marcus Junius Brutus to help kill Caesar is because it was a signification. Because the first Marcus Junius Brutus killed the last tyrant. So for Brutus, being the heir of that man, it was apropos. And then to have it on the Ides of March. Martius. That's the month of March. Martius. We say the word March. The word March comes from the word Mars, Martius, in Latin. Okay? The Romans thought they were the sons of Mars. So to have it on the Ides of March was a religious and spiritual and every significance. It was a, you know what I mean? It was very, 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 there was a reason why they had to do it that way.
I absolutely love this show. I'm sorry. I'm as giddy as a schoolgirl. This is, sorry.
Man, you be a fat ass girl, bro.
Yeah.
What about donuts? No.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
No shit, man. Man, I want some powdered donuts right now. I don't know what. I just got paid. I go to Kroger right now. I'll go in 100 degree heat for that. Anyway, so back to this. So okay, so now he's dead. And just so you know, to tell you how realistic this tragedy was, that Brutus did this, and to tell you how much Julius Caesar was surprised by it, y'all realize that Mark Antony wasn't in the will, but Marcus Junius Brutus was the third one in line. Julius Caesar never saw it coming. He never saw it coming. That literally, the man was in his will. Okay?
I love this.
But the number one person in his will was Octavian. The reason why he chose Octavian is because Octavian's mind. Because Octavian knew how to consolidate Rome. He knew how to transfer power. He knew how. Octavian was politically a genius. They said that the man couldn't even sleep, dude. And he couldn't sleep, right? So okay, Octavian watched this whole thing. Well, anyway, in the HBO series Rome, that's not exactly accurate. He wasn't in Rome when Julius Caesar was assassinated. He was over in Greece, near Macedonia. Okay. Well, when the news reached them that he had been assassinated and that they told him about the will, the legions around him swore to him instantly. Now, Octavian's not a general, but he was with Agrippa, and he was with Maecenas. Okay? Mm-hmm. And so they're like, and he's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, he wasn't after power. But once he was given the responsibility, he ran with that bitch. This wasn't a power grab. He was given it. Well, what began the contention between him and Mark Antony is Mark Antony didn't want to recognize him. He was jealous. Very simple. Mark Antony was mad because he went in the will. Because he had served Julius Caesar all the time. But then again, maybe he should have thought about that when Julius Caesar was in Africa and he tried to extort the entire freaking populace of Rome. Julius Caesar wouldn't have had him in charge of shit.
Okay. Oh, look, a tree.
Yeah, for real. Like, really. and like he's all mad. So he wouldn't give the money over. So I started the contention. Anyway, Octavian's gathering the legions and coming through Italy and letting the legions know that Mark Antony's being an asshole and disrespecting the spirit of Julius Caesar. Not a good time to say all that. Because they got mad at Mark Antony had to flee. He had to flee. Okay? And then, of course, and then there was also the contention about the fact that Mark Antony wasn't going to kill Brutus and Cassius. Punish him. Octavian's like, oh no, because the legion said, they better effing die, dude. They're like, we want to see the nails in their hands, and not for religious purposes. Okay? Well, he wouldn't do it. So anyway, he started that contention, and then finally, after Mark Antony doubly met Cleopatra, and Cleopatra, you got to give just from a guy's perspective, you got to give Cleopatra her credit. She is the most famous gold digger in the history of ever. She had a child cesarean with Julius Caesar, and then had two with Mark Antony. And then Mark Antony fell for it so bad because cesarean wasn't going to be recognized as her son. The son of Julius Caesar. Okay? But Mark Antony's children, so he fell for it, and he gave half the empire to Cleopatra.
Oh.
Well, that right there was an instant declaration of war. The Senate was more than happy to oblige him and say, yeah. And then that's where you get all the political slander, and there's all sorts of crap like you do now. So, for example, two of the oldest political slanders of that time was the war between Mark Antony and Octavian, when Mark Antony accused Octavian, saying that the only reason why he was given that put in their will is because he sucked Julius Caesar's cock and he did sexual favors for him. That's what he told him. Ooh. And in reverse, Cleopatra became a witch, and he became underneath her magical spell, and blah blah blah, and it's just this back and forth. It was fascinating to watch political rhetoric back in the day. It's not been changed. They're gonna be, you have to be nicer. Nah, politics has never been nice, no?
Nope.
Okay. Well, anyway, at the end of all this, okay, they tried to throw the this is smart. They tried to throw the label of dictator onto Octavian. Octavian refused it. First smart move. Brilliant move. They tried to put the label of Rex on him. Absolutely rejected it. And he simply said, and this is the beginning of the princeps systems. In fact, that's what it means, princeps. It just means first citizen. He goes, I'm just the first citizen. In other words, he's like, I'm not trying to be king. I was doing this for the people. Brilliant as fuck. And not only did they give him the title of Augustus, they gave it to him with a smile and a song.
Wow.
They gave him the title of Imperium, Imperator. Willingly, without a fight, without him taking it or crossing the Rubicon. He learned all that. They willingly gave him this power. And then over the period of time, from that time to the time of his death, he had figured out a way to peaceably transfer power from one emperor to another without another civil war. That's his accomplishment, the Pax Romana. That's what's going on right now. Almost, I could prove it to you. I said when President Obama was president, I said, I'm not worried about Obama. I'm worried about the motherfuckers following him.
I think I remember you saying that word for word.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did say that to you. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'm worried about the jackholes, because that's what it is. But if you're not paying attention, you're going to be devastated this year. And all you who don't like the man, you don't like his Twitter account and all that crap, don't get on Twitter. But I can tell you what you don't want. Your freedom's taken away.
Uh-oh.
See, here's the deal about Octavian. Octavian was the good side of an emperor. He was the nice, shiny side of the emperor. The Praetorians, the only time in history that the Praetorians were ever loyal to an emperor like that. After that, they were involved in at least 5 assassinations of their own emperor.
Whoa.
Yeah. And in fact, Tiberius had such a bloody war with the head of the Praetorians that there were so much blood you could paint your house with it.
Oh my God.
And Tiberius had an awful end, where they threw him off the Tarpeian rock, which is a punishment of theirs, and the plebs ripped him apart. When he got at the bottom, they ripped him apart, ripped off his arms, his legs, his cock, his balls, all of it.
Ugh.
Ripped him apart like dogs. Tiberius is accused of one of the most heinous things I've ever heard of in my life. Now I think it's political rhetoric, no different than the Octavian thing. So most historians do too, because it's just too heinous for you can imagine. Tiberius is accused of. They said that he threw young boys and young girls after he fucked them off of the island of Capri. You know, Denise has been to Capri.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's been to Capri. Okay? Now I think it's political rhetoric from its enemies. But Tiberius was an awful leader. And there was a reason why Octavian didn't want to name him emperor. Octavian did have 2 sons. Mysteriously, they were both died.
Mysterious.
Everybody knows it was Tiberius' mother, Livia. Everybody knows it. Livia had to be cast and banned, and she mysteriously died somehow. But he was so worried about the transfer of power, he even adopted his best friend. Take for example you. You're 6 months older than me. He literally did this. He so wanted to not have Tiberius as the next heir that he named his best friend Agrippa his son, even though Agrippa was older. That's how bad he didn't want Tiberius to rule. Anyway, on his deathbed, he basically told Tiberius what he thought of him. He said, because I don't want a civil war, because I worked too hard for this, I'll give you the damn throne. But I don't like you. I think you're psycho. I hope you enjoyed your mom's funeral. And just told him what he thought of him. Because Tiberius was awful. So then they got the negative side of the imperial leadership. But by that time, anyone who would have fought and tried to bring it back to being a republic, they were either dead or had been killed. Or did not remember. Now I want y'all to keep that in mind before we go, because some of you younger folk don't even know what it's like to be free.
Uh-oh.
You're about to find out what it's like to be a slave. And by the time you realize it, you're going to have children of your own, and they're not going to even have known anything of what you're talking about.
Wow. And that's
And your
that's
mother,
true.
and your mother, and your father, and your grandparents, they'll all be passed away or older. They will have told you for a long time about what's going on. And you will have rolled your eyes talking about how old they are.
Yep.
And there will be no one around to help you. So just remember that when voting this year. The choices are clear. Do you want money in your pocket, or do you want to be broke? Do you want your housing to be so expensive you can't freaking afford it, or do you want to afford a house? Do you want to have higher wages where the government doesn't take all your taxes? Or do you want the other one? Do you want to be able to speak the way you want to speak, or do you want to have fear some person come up to your door and say you can't speak like that? Do you want your Instagram channels blocked or your Facebook channels blocked because you decided to give an opinion they don't like? These are all choices. I mean, it's whatever. I know what I'm choosing. See, I can't vote. And you guys are making my life miserable because I can't vote. I'd appreciate it if you'd help me out with my business, but not making me pay that much taxes. Okay? All right? Thanks. So if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for me because I'm so handsome, I look like Zeus, and I'm very smart and told you a nice story today. Okay? Thank you. Now, be safe when you're driving.
I agree with the last two statements. With the whole Zeus thing.
Dude, statues were named after me, bitch. Anyway, apparently I cuss too much. You mean like this, Anna? You mean like fuck, shit, horse, slut, cunt? Like that? Tell me which words I shouldn't say. Damn, shit, asshole, what?
On your
Okay.
channel, by the way.
Yeah, on my channel.
Yeah,
On my channel. Yeah, you hear what Duwan say? On my channel.
because
I mean, maybe you can start your own YouTube channel, and then you can not cuss, and people will be bored to tears. Okay. Have a good day. Gotta get going. I hate that crap. Really,
Yep.
I do. You
that's
know
why
what I
I
mean?
didn't say anything.
People think they're so cute when they do so. It's too much cursing. There's never too much cursing. As The Rock. Okay. You Rudy Poo. What did he used to say?
Rudy Poo candy ass.
You Rudy Poo candy ass. Grow some balls and take the stick sideways out of your ass. Okay. Behave yourself. Be safe when you're traveling. See? Anna's laughing. She knows. Jesus. Which ones? Name all the swears I'm not supposed to say, so I know exactly when to say them.
And how to say them, too.
And how to say them. By the way, I can tell you different combinations if you want to. Hey, I got some dirty jokes I can end with if you like. So there's these two gay guys. They were, oh, no? Okay. Behave yourself. Some people's children. Don't mind her. She's tiny too. Anyway, behave yourself. Your mom heard all that? What the people talk? I'm sorry. Behave yourself. Be safe when you drive. Be safe when you get there. You never know what happens, especially in this world, man. Especially in this world. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, Anna. From theirs as well. I enjoy the word fuck coming out of my mouth. It makes me smile. So if I say fuckity fuck, and then more fuck comes out of my mouth, maybe you can realize that I don't give a fuck. Okay? Yay, nailed it. A lot of love here. No, I just don't like being told. We don't like being told how to run our channel. You're not going to tell me. Just go watch something else. Maybe go watch a cat try to climb a tree.
and
That's
fall
fun.
out.
That's fun. That's where you can get your education from. Oh, read a book. I know. They don't have swears in there. That's why I don't read books. I tell stories, and I look up history lessons. Thanks. All right. Be understanding of yourself that you have limits. Did you hear that part? That you have limits. That I can be pushed too far. Like, push, keep pushing, and then they wonder why
And then you wonder why, and then they wonder why you push back. You know,
That's what I'm saying, dude. And I this happens to me all the time, Duwan. It's like push. Do this, Daryl. Do this, Daryl. God, my God, I've stopped drinking. I've changed my life. But I say the word fuck. Damn it, fucking fuck.
Let me ask a question.
Y'all, if y'all think it bothers me, it bothers him too.
I just have a question.
See, how you gonna say that? Tell your mama what you just wrote. She's a fucking fuck.
I mean, so who's the owner of this business? I'm just curious. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because
can anybody name the owners of this business? Because if anybody has any right to say anything, Denise can say offline to me. That's the only other person on here. Like, really. Because, like, when she moves here, she's studying AI for us.
right.
She will be part owner of this business. She has every right. Everyone else can literally go watch two lions have sex. Does that make you feel better that I said have sex? Anyway. But besides, fuck is such a fun word of saying. So
And it's not that. It's not really a swear word.
that's right. German said it. Sucker. Anyway. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective. Remember that just because you can't help today doesn't mean you're a bad person. Like, and by the way, what's the point of you giving all your money away if you're going to be homeless yourself? Do what you can inside your box. Maybe you're not ready to help some people like that. I know maybe your heart's there. You know? God.
And that's what counts, y'all. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, for real.
Just because you don't have something physically doesn't mean you cannot be there, you know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't all come down to
Hold on.
monetary value.
Is that a racist comment, Denise? Americans are funny. You know what? Brazilian gerbils are funny looking. How dare you, ma'am? I'm about to burn your Miko.
Chip and Dale. Oh.
Your Miko's about to have an alcoholic problem.
Oh.
Your perspective is changing here? Why is that? No, okay. Let me close it down. Your perspective. What perspective is that? What you done with pushing the wheel? I don't understand. All right.
She's trying to look up to you.
Hey Denise, do you look up to me? You probably look up to a lot of people, huh? How many times have you had your little chubby ass been stepped on? Be honest. Anyway, okay. Okay. Not right now. You can call me later. Not right now. Not while Duwan's here. Okay. Anyway, remember, life is fleeting, and you're not promised your next breath. And I want to add something to this, just for understanding purposes. Do you see how we're joking around and we're having fun and we're laughing? Life is fleeting. We may not be able to laugh soon enough.
Right.
I mean, me and Duwan just have a unique perspective because of our homelessness and our past that we're not going to take it for granted, and it can be taken from us. Would we have done anything wrong? Of course not. But me and Duwan, We and Duwan are not always serious, y'all. In fact,
Come on now.
we're,
Come on now.
I mean, it's how we are to one another. It's how we are to our friends. It's because we love y'all and we love each other, and y'all know how Sophie is. And if you ain't figured it out yet, good luck.
I do want to say this though, because you on your closings, you always say do something outside of your body, inside and outside of your box. I want to add to that, like I always say in mine, do that, but make sure you don't do it to somebody else's detriment.
That's right. We don't use people. We don't abuse people. In other words, one of my biggest problems with socialism, one of my biggest problems with this election, is that it's not that socialism has bad ideas in principle. It's that socialism would take from someone who's earned it to give to someone else. It's awful. You're a thief. You know what I mean?
Case in point, a couple weeks ago I was trying to stream, and I let my roommate know that, hey, I'm streaming from this time to this time. I cannot have you listening to your music all that loud. I can't, because I'm trying to monetize. Wait a minute, I'm working.
Yeah.
But he still did it anyway.
Yeah, and it's people are human beings, like God says, think evilly from their youth, and it's the one truth you have to admit to yourself, or you're not gonna be able to do this right. We couldn't be able to do that right if we didn't know that. So you have to be understanding of that as well. You have to be understanding that you're not going to change that. You have to show them, have them change it. You're not going to change it about them though.
No.
Right? So, with that being said, until tomorrow, or actually I might do one later tonight. Either way, I'll do one tomorrow. May the Lord light guide you in all things.
God bless. Peace.
One second.